Why do I do this to myself? Right, so, one of you people out there is probably thinking, hey, this is a Mega Man game. You should play this Mega Man game and do a Let's Play of it. After all, that would be neat. Well, I bet one of you is probably wondering that, thinking that. Of course, the other 5%, or, other 5 people, which constitutes about, I don't know, 80% of the rest of the world and stuff, is probably wondering, why do you keep making videos? More importantly, why do you keep torturing yourself with difficult Mega Man-based games? I did Mega Mari and it was fun, and now I'm doing this. However, this game isn't necessarily as fun as Mega Mari was, and saying that is, oh well, you'll see. Anyway, if you haven't guessed by now, the plot was that robots are taking over the world, and Dr. Wily isn't the villain for once. I'm willing to bet that by the end of the game he probably turns out to be the villain. Can't keep an old man down. But, hey, I'll be willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. Dr. Wily's a bit silent, and suddenly this bass-like silhouette captures him. Boy, that's not suspicious at all. Go after Wily's kidnapper. It might be the key to this mystery. As Mega Man just stands there and does the hustle. And meanwhile, we have Mysterious Robot here, who's just like, ha 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 ha. Very slow laughter. Right, so, Mega Man Unlimited. This is a fan game that I've been waiting years to play. And depending on who you ask about this game, it's either worth the wait, or one of the greatest abominations in Mega Man history. Oh boy, to say that this is a flawed game would be quite the understatement. Anyway, Mega Man Unlimited is a Classic Series game based on the Classic Series game. It is not a canon Mega Man game, as you're probably aware of. Capcom didn't get Megaphil X to create this game, and after seeing some of the level design later on, you can probably tell that for yourself. This is Nailman Stage, and it's probably my favorite level in the game. It's the most like a Mega Man level. And honestly, it's somewhat generic in terms of, the gimmicks it uses, but I still find it to be pretty fun. Anyway, you're gonna see some skillful gameplay for the first half of this level. And I'm gonna tell you right now, getting hit is for losers. I don't plan on dying. Well, I didn't plan on dying. But I did somewhere along the lines, as you'll probably find out. Anyway, Mega Man Unlimited does have a few annoying things to it, like precision jumping everywhere. It's not so much prevalent in this stage, but in a lot of later stages, you either have a lot of precision jumping or a lot of avoiding death traps. Anyway, around here are these guts lifts, which act vertically instead of horizontally this time. Honestly, they're one of the more fun gimmicks in this stage, and I don't know, I kinda like them. I was a big fan of, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I'm a big fan of the guts lifts from Gutsman stage in the original Mega Man, so, I've got that going for me. Anyway, I do also like the music for this stage as well. Now, I'm going to progress through the level a little bit slowly, and that's because I wasn't really planning on getting hit. I was planning on being a little bit more careful, showing off a little bit more skillful gameplay, and not necessarily tank hit to move on kind of speed run like that. But I do kind of like this stage. It's a construction kind of stage, which I honestly like construction stages and factory levels. I've always had a liking for them. Like, if anybody remembers Donkey Kong Country, the Blackout Basement and Fear Factory levels, I kinda like those. And of course, the Factory World in Donkey Kong Country Returns was just, oh man. That was a really fun world to get through, but it also had some of the most dickish platforming gimmicks of the entire game. Like those stupid switcheroo platforms. Anyway, doing a little bit more shooting of these jackhammer guys, and we are actually about to be fighting the game's first mid-boss. Or at least this stage's mid-boss. Since I'm taking this stage on first, it's the game's first mid-boss. Hurrah! And here he is! In all of his glory, it's Hammerman! I'm gonna make an MC Hammer joke here pretty shortly, probably. Hammerman's honestly one of the easier mid-bosses, and with that being said, the mid-bosses in this game are pretty easy. You can basically just buster spam. See, he didn't even get through 3 phases of attack. Killed him in 2. Anyway, going around here, we're going to be starting the descending portion of the stage. A large portion of the stage was spent, you know, climbing the scaffolding, and this time we're going to be using it to go down the scaffolding. Which is pretty alright, I guess. We're also going to be introduced to a new platforming gimmick here soon, I think. It's on the next screen, and it happens to be these platforms right here that alternate between firing horizontally and firing vertically. With that being said, I'm impatient and not good with puzzles, so I tend to kind of ignore these. However, oftentimes if you don't pay attention to the patterns, especially in areas where you have to navigate above them on bottomless pits, they come back to bite you in the ass. And there's a later stage where I think it actually, can, you know, it'll satisfy you, but it could kill you. And we're almost at the end here. We've got a couple more horizontal paths, and then I believe a brief patch of going back upward. Which is alright. I do like the nail enemies that alternate their firing patterns as well. That's pretty cool. Not too keen on these frog guys, though. But, hey, you know? You'd think that, you know, because I like Battletoads, that I'd be keen on the frog dudes. Nope. It's not the case. And we're going over here, we're going to have this feller. This jackhammer dude. And he's kind of in an annoying spot. He is blocking the way to a weapon tank, though. Which means we have to use this guts lift. We just have to be careful not to stand on it for too long. Otherwise, it will smack you above the pointy death. And you don't want to be smacked into pointy death. Also, you don't want to accidentally jump when you're trying to slide. But hey. Not like it could get worse, right? Yeah, I'll just let this sink in right here. Windows, need to learn to postpone things. Anyway, we're actually at the boss. That path right there with the health and the screws was actually right above the boss's room. So, you know, you didn't actually miss too much from what I cut out. Anyway, Nailman is not an easy boss per se. He's not necessarily that difficult either. He does have a very predictable pattern to him. However, the problem is that this boss takes a long time to get through. If you're trying to buster run any boss in the game, this is the most tedious. You can only hit him when he doesn't have his nail shield active. Which means that even when he's doing the thing where he tries to hit you from above and, you know, smash into you and stuff, you still can't hurt him then. So basically what I like to do is get into one of these corners and such and, you know, just try to avoid his attacks for as long as I can, before eventually buster spamming him to death. Now this is a very close situation right here, and not too keen on these close situations. He does have a tendency to woodman you and basically close the gap. But honestly, for as good as his stage was, Nailman's an alright boss. I do think his design does look a little bit silly, but I like silly. And right here, we just buster spam him to death and win. Groovy. And we're going to be treated to his weapon, which, for all intents and purposes, is the game's shield weapon. Hooray! Yeah, you probably saw that coming, actually, from the boss fight. And that's a bad drawing of Mega Man right there with his weird awkward leg. But hey, we got the Nail Shield and the Rush Jet, which makes this a great stage to take on first. I'll see you guys later. This is Tails Frog signing out. Thank you all for watching.